on, guys, quick shout out to our gold level sponsors, Anglesey Family Chiropractic. They're out in Spokane Valley. They're also here in Coeur d'Alene. Go check them out. Dr. Craig Anglesey is amazing. He'll get you feeling nice and good. Also want to give a shout out to Training is Ritual. These guys are a great MMA apparel company. They've also got gear to hook you up. If you're into death metal or horror movies or Jiu Jitsu, leg locks, this is the brand for you. Really cool designs, very unique. Can't find them anywhere else. Awesome quality gear from Training is Ritual. Go check them out.
Joe, you're the V3 Fights 125-pound champion, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athlete, man. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I'd like to start off at the beginning. What was childhood like for you? Where'd you grow up, man?
I actually am born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
My parents were Vietnam. They, long story short, they settled here. And then, so I grew up here. I did karate growing up. My dad was just like, hey, you need to know martial arts, defend yourself. I feel like, most people who do martial arts have a very similar background.
Sure. So how did you make that transition to the MMA side of things?
So it's crazy. So I had a friend that basically from high school to college, he fought. So I helped him get ready for his fights.
Okay.
And getting him ready, I was like, maybe I can do it too, And,
Yeah.
and I feel like everyone gets that little thought, you get one sparring session in, like, yeah, I can go to UFC. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So basically, I knew nothing about the ground.
Okay.
So if I got taken down, I was like, that was it, So basically, I started doing jiu-jitsu classes, and actually, there was like a 5-year gap between me doing jiu-jitsu and starting MMA.
Okay.
Because basically I got really interested in doing jiu-jitsu, and then work life got in the way. So I was really focused on my career at that point.
Yeah.
And then I just thought there's no other time to do it. I just got to jump and go for MMA, And so I ended up just started training for MMA and doing Muay Thai, and actually quit my job at the time, so to help work at my friend's gym.
Oh, okay.
Actually, also bought quitting his career as well to run this martial arts gym and fitness gym. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, and then if Tapology is correct, you started fighting in 2017. You fought 3 times that year, and then in 2018 you only fought once. What was the reason why you only fought once in 2018?
So at the end, I guess that was the last fight of that year.
Okay.
It was a fight I felt like I did pretty well in, but I spent a lot of time on my back, and I was throwing up submissions. It was a rough decision. It was like I lost the decision. I thought I won.
Yeah.
And I felt like I needed some stuff to focus on, like to help transition better, make sure I stay on top. I wanted to just take time to learn and sharpen up some things.
Love it.
So 2018, I actually spent a lot of time just doing a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments. I probably did 2 to 3 tournaments a month, I think.
Wow. Okay.
For that year. I did that one fight. I think that was Trevor Harvey. I won that fight.
Okay.
And then even in that fight, I didn't win exactly what I wanted to. It was like a split decision. And so I spent the rest of that year just staying active, getting after it.
Yeah.
I think I did a kickboxing tournament that year. It's IKF. It's held in Orlando every year. I didn't win it, but it was still I like training for it just because I feel like when you get ready for MMA, you end up gravitating towards what you're good at. So I really like jiu-jitsu. So I gravitate toward grappling.
Yeah.
So doing these kickboxing tournaments, you have to focus on what you don't feel as comfortable in, which is long stand-up exchanges.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Now you're on this 3-fight win streak. You had your last loss was in January of 2019. What'd you change in your training that's got you on this win streak now?
Honestly, in 2019, I fought a guy named Michael Cribb. So he trains out of a pretty big gym in Nashville.
Okay.
And he was just really good. And up to that point, I guess that might be the only fight so far, but I couldn't take him down.
Oh, okay.
He was a big guy. He was just, I wouldn't say that big. Obviously, he was 135. But he was bigger than me.
Okay.
I would shoot in for a deep double. He would get underhooks and just drive me back up. And then so basically that whole fight was just standing, and then it would be me trying to attempt a takedown. It didn't work, so we just stand up, and I lost that fight split decision.
Gotcha.
And so basically I took that loss pretty hard. I was in the back, just sitting there, and everyone just told me you did everything right. You're just too small. And so the promoter approached me, I want to say like a month after that fight. He was like, how about you try 125?
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, it's kind of a rough cut. I cut from like 152
Wow.
to 1, yeah.
That's
So I cut
crazy.
from 152, and so, but you know, my coach thought that I could do it, and I have a lot of my friends and training partners are like encouraged me to do it. So we basically just like, okay, we'll get ready for 125. Whenever next opportunity shows up, we'll fight 125.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle of a jiu-jitsu tournament in Boston, and I did that, and then I was actually eating for my girlfriend, and then I got a text from the promoter. It's like, hey, do you want to fight? And I was like, okay, sure, when? He's like, in a month. and,
Yeah.
and he's like, and he said 125. I was like, and I think I was like 148 at that point. I was like, yeah, I could do it. And but it was, so I got back, and it was probably the hardest training camp of my life. It was just doing like crazy workouts like every single day, and
Yeah.
so I do a lot of CrossFit as my strength and conditioning.
Okay. Cool.
Doing like 2 or 3 of those workouts every day, along with like jujitsu and Muay Thai training. And it was just like this super fast short weight cut, and it was awesome. So I ended up and I ended up winning that fight by first round armbar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a really cool experience. It made me actually feel like, you know, like, yo, maybe they're right. Maybe I should fight at 125, because I felt bigger, I felt stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now you fought, all of your fights have been with V3 fights, right? Throughout your career. I've heard nothing but awesome stuff about those guys, but what's your experience been working with those guys?
You know, so even though that I've only fought for them, I've been part of training camps and teams that, you know, corner people at these other events. And I honestly feel like V3 fights is the closest to a professional experience that you'll get.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think of it. I can't name the promotion because they might be watching. But
Sure.
I was definitely part of a promotion where there were like curtains like blocking, like, you know, side A, side B, right? Like red corner, blue corner.
Oh.
And there was like a corner between, you know, the other side. And I was like, if the other guy wanted to come by and like just like start a fight with you, they probably could. No one could stop them, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But V3 fights, like, and I think because they're a pro-am promotion, so they I keep these as professional as possible. Like marketing's on point, management's on point, and yeah, everything's like on time.
Yeah.
You know, like no card in my experience has really gotten past. Oh, sorry, I live next to a train.
Oh. That's cool, dude. Right on. That's awesome.
Like literally just like 20 yards between me and the train. And,
Okay.
And you know what? After living here for a while, like you really do tune it out after like a couple of days. But yeah.
That's awesome.
No, but V3 fights really is, in my opinion, like one of the best promotions to fight for, at least regionally.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. When do you plan to go pro?
So actually, I've already announced I went pro at my last fight, which was February 29th.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because a big thing for me was one, winning a belt, and then also defending it.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want, you know, because I think it's kind of like bad luck to, I don't know. I've seen a lot of guys that win a belt, amateur, like, cool, I'm going to go pro. And they do the pro debut and get, like, smashed, you know?
Sure. Yep.
So I felt like I wanted to defend it, and then I wanted to go make the jump.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that was right when this COVID-19 stuff started happening.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, whenever the next card's going to be is, you know, up in the air, I suppose.
Right. Oh, man. How did you get the nickname Kommodo?
Honestly, my friend kind of pulled it up out of nowhere just because it kind of went with my name, Joe. And,
Yeah.
and so I have a friend, his name is Ahmed, and we call him the nickname guy because he always wants to make nicknames for everyone.
Okay.
And, yeah. And I told him, like, well, if I ever do MMA, and this is like 7 years ago, like when I first started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And if I do ever do MMA, you just pick the name. Whatever it is, I'll go for it.
Okay.
So Komodo Joe just kind of stuck, and I don't know. I like going for like submissions. Like, it will tell me I have a tight like grip when I have things. So they're like, oh, like Komodo. I was like, sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What's the mindset for you backstage before you walk out to those fights, man? Are you nervous, scared, or do you have any backstage rituals that you go through?
So I've tried a variety of stuff. So I've competed like basically my whole life, from karate, jiu-jitsu to MMA. And so I've tried everything from getting riled up, and or getting a hard warm up, or just chilling. And something that I guess really helped me a lot is just hanging out in the back and just focus on the fight, visualizing, staying real calm, and of course everyone has different approaches. Like I've seen guys, basically have like rounds 1 and 2 in the back before they go out there. But for me, I'll just warm up like 30 minutes before, chill, and then if I feel like I need to work on something, like we'll do some drills or hit pads, stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, Donald Cerrone, look at that guy. I mean, he pukes before every single fight, man. So it's like you can't really. There's so many people out there that do different things, but that's awesome, man. I love that you kind of figured out there. I wanted to transition to some fun questions here for us. I've got these things are called pod decks. Essentially, they're fun, random questions for us podcasters. So we'll pull one out and see if it flops. Hopefully, it's a good one. This one says, "Who or where would you haunt if you were a ghost?"
Haunt? Oh man. Man, like a hospital. People are already creeped out by hospitals, and then I get scared every night for something random like sleep apnea, and you just hear like random voices or like noises.
That's awesome. This is always a fun question to ask, but who has hit you the hardest, whether that be in training or in a fight? Is there an opponent or somebody that hit you and you're like, man, that freaking rocked?
Okay, yeah. So actually this is a training session, and so we used to have a really big guy. His name was Mac, and I think he was like an amateur champ for like the regional promotions around here for light, heavy, and heavy. But we were just sparring, and he was a super nice guy. He's one of those guys that's like super nice, and when he fights, like he's like a mean dude. And so we were sparring, and he just jabbed me. And I feel like I guess I went into it and it probably like rocked my brain. Like I just remember having a headache right after. I was like, I'm gonna call it a day. Yeah. But it was like me coming in and him being like 250 pounds and just boom. And that's probably the hardest I've ever been hit. I still think about it sometimes. Like every sparring match, every fight, like nothing's ever come close to it.
Gotcha. Who's a real life hero for you?
Real life hero. So so one of the reasons I do MMA is because I have an instructor. Well, I had an instructor. He passed away a couple years ago. I guess probably about more like 6 years ago now. Okay. But he always encouraged me to compete a lot more. And I used to just kind of do it once or twice a year. Gotcha. But he would compete like these like regional and national karate tournaments. And he told me like, hey man, you need to do it too. And he told me like, I could do it. He's like, you really can do it. And I was at one of his MMA shows, and he told me like, when he's just try a fight, just try one fight, and see if you can do it. And so his name was Marcus Relaford. He was a really cool, a great karate instructor. He had a bunch of like after school programs at a million different schools. He was always super active, super healthy, but unfortunately he had like a stroke and just and passed away. But he was one of the main people who always encouraged me to compete basically as much as I can. Yeah. Always test yourself.
Wow. Last question for you. I love to ask this question. I'm such a music guy, so I'm always curious. What's your favorite type of music, or do you have a favorite band that you like to listen to?
I don't really have a favorite band, but as far as like music goes, people usually surprised to hear this is that I actually kind of like rap, but not like super crazy rap. You're just like I just like a good beat, like a good beat that I can train to, a good beat that I could run to. Yeah. Nice, very nice. Well, Joe, I also want to give you an opportunity to give a shout out to sponsors, coaches, teammates, anything like that, man. The camera's all yours, bro. Yeah. I had to always thank all my sponsors, Dynasty MMA. They were my very first sponsor from when I just started Jiu Jitsu, and to all the way to my first MMA fight to like my last MMA fight. Rolling Society, they always have super cool stuff. Matt Savage is owned by one of my friends, Will Moss, and his wife. And of course my coaches and team, Eric Ingram and everybody at Pyramid Martial Arts, Pyramid Athletics. They're awesome. They're really a good group of guys. And yeah, it's that's about it.
Sweet, man. Well, Joe, it's been such an honor to have you on my show today, man. I'm excited to see you go pro and continue to that win streak, man. And thank you so much for taking time, man. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for watching this video today. I really appreciate it. If you could go and share this everywhere you can, leave us a review, leave us a rating. We would really appreciate it. That helps us get the word spread out about our podcast and about our show, and we can bring you amazing stories of the people that we bring on for the Bearded Biz and the Top Rated MMA Show. Thank you again. Have an awesome day.